Hi guys, Jonathan Chown here with JChownGolf at Crondon Park Golf Club in Essex. And today, what we're talking about, we're going to talk about this one move that a lot of you golfers out there are doing that you think is right, and it is completely wrong, and it's causing a lot of problems in your golf swing. It could be causing you to pull the ball, it could be causing you to push the ball, slice, hook, anything to do with a club face element it's going to cause. So before we get into that, guys, please make sure you like, you subscribe, and comment down below as well what you think of this video. And two, if you want a topic covered, put down in the comments as well. I might get to that very soon. So let's get into it. What are we doing that's wrong that we think is right? And this is from the takeaway. This is club face in the takeaway. A lot of golfers out there are still thinking this, which used to be correct info 10 years ago, but now we know better with all the new technology and knowing how the golf club is meant to work in the golf swing, and that's this. So if you think that looks right, definitely watch the right video. Where this, see how the toe of the club's pointed up to the sky, how the grooves are pointing away from us? So a toe up takeaway with the club face. This is now wide open. Now, this was correct takeaway move, let's say 10, 15, 20 years ago. This was taught a lot. So now what this was, why this was taught as well, because this was the standard set position, and how you squared the club face from this open position was to really release those hands, to really get that hard release, because that club face, of course, if it's open and no changes are made from that takeaway, it's going to be delivered to the golf ball open, so you would have to manipulate it with that classic release. That release isn't taught anymore. One of the big reasons for that is how that club face is in takeaway. We know in golf we're swinging on an arc around our body, because that golf ball is on the ground. We have to be swinging on an arc around our body, big circle round there. So we ideally want that club head to be tracking that circle really nicely. So this is the bottom of our arc. You can see as I'm going around here, if I'm just following that arc, you can see now that club face is actually slightly toed down, only very slightly, where those grooves are kind of diagonally pointing down, let's say a bucket of balls if they were over there. So we can see there, that is matching that arc, and it's matching my spine angle, because obviously we're swinging around our body. That's the easiest way to know when that club face is square, so whether it's matching our back angle. Because us doing this, with this club face being slightly toed down, slightly grooved down, I don't have to manipulate that club when I'm rotating through the shot for that club to square. I have to do less to get that club to square up. Whereas if I had a club face which was very toe up, where the grooves were very much pointing away from me, if I just rotate and do a good body move, that club face is going to be pointing way right, and it's going to be going way right unless I quickly flip those hands last minute. We've got to make sure that club face is nice and square going back. So you can see if our club face was nice and square, even if I just did like a hip height to hip height swing here, where I kept my club face very square, so it's matching my back angle, groove slightly down, just a little one where I'm just following around an arc, I'm probably going to hit it pretty straight. To where if I did it with very much of an open club face and I just rotated through, so I'm trying to get this toe in the old set position where the toe's pointing up, I just rotate through where that ball goes. I have to really manipulate that club face to get that ball to go straight. So if you're a golfer out there who really does open that club face up and you get massive inconsistency, so you could actually play around very well doing it, but you could in the very next round you could play very poorly. You could play a good few holes, and then your next few holes after that be very poor as well. It's all timing. We want timing, which is this move, to be taken out of it, because that rolling of those wrists, that old release to square the club face up, is very inconsistent, and it's bred from that takeaway. Because if we have a takeaway, that club face is wide open, we don't do anything to fix that in the golf swing, we have to release that golf club to do it. We don't want that in there though. It's another variable that we have to control through timing. We want as little timing as possible, where if we have a nice square club face here, we can then just rotate through and it's going to be nice and square. So another like hip height one, where that club face is nicely square, we just need to rotate. We just need to rotate through there. So if you're a golfer who struggles with this, you struggle with really getting it there, okay, right, cool, I know what to do now. Is there a drill I can do for this? There absolutely is. So drill wise, really simple. You'll see a lot of guys do this drill, let's say almost in their pre-shot routine or when they're over the ball, like a little waggle. You see a lot of tour players do this, where they're just rehearsing that first little position, so where that club shaft's parallel to the ground, All they're doing when they're doing that is making sure the club face is square. That's all they do when they do that. When you see tour players do that, they're waggling to make sure that club face is square. So how we're going to incorporate that to a drill, we could of course do that over the ball before we hit a shot. That's what we'll be doing out on the golf course. But drill on the driving range, what we're going to do, we're going to get it to that position. So just with a shaft parallel to the ground, we're going to stop it, look and see where the club face is square, and then we'll go and hit a shot from there. So if I do that again, good. Grooves are slightly pointing down to a bucket of balls. Good. Now I just swing up and go. From there, I just need to rotate. That club face is taken care of nicely. The one biggest thing for inconsistency out there is a wide open club face usually happens from the takeaway, from old concepts. So again, let's do that as the drill. Set that club face, good. Shaft parallel to ground, club face is slightly pointed away, match my back angle. Swing up, swing through. There we go, nice and straight. So guys, a little bit of a difference in way really a square club face is taught. That big release now is not in golf instruction because it's too timing orientated. It just creates too much inconsistency over time. We don't want it. We want that club face to be squarer earlier, so we can just use body rotation to square up that club face. So I hope that cleared up a lot of things, and I hope that cleared up a lot of things about your golf game as well. So guys, if you like that video, please make sure you like, you subscribe, and comment down below as well what you think. That'll be really helpful for me. So if you were in the old way of the old square club face, make sure you're getting slightly toed down now. Got to remember, we're swinging an arc around our body. We want it to be matching our back angle to be square, and then we use body rotation, not flip. Once we can get rid of that out of our golf game, that flip from the open club face, we're going to be playing so much more consistent golf.